Hi, I'm Jason Gorb for ThatShelf.com, and we're here to talk about this guy. So, 50 years. I'm 50 years old. This is 50 years old. Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, one of the greatest records of all time. No surprise to anybody who actually likes music. The sort of record that took Pink Floyd to a different interstellar level. There's so many people who know this album really well, but in a funny way, it's almost hard to listen to. I know that doesn't make any sense on a fundamental level, but it's almost too popular. It's almost too big. Too many people owned it. Too many people were listening to it sort of in the background while, or better, the best, at a planetarium while lasers are shooting off. That they almost forget about how groundbreaking and how remarkable it is. This is the original horizontal line MoFi. I don't have the UHQR. One day. Nor do I have a first UK. One day. But as a record, it's under 40 minutes. I think it's 36 minutes or something like that. And crammed into this is a sort of definitive mix of an art rock album, a concept record, something that's angry, something that's beautiful, something that sort of speaks to a very specific time and place, not only in the band, but in the way that music was taking place. The absolute iconic Hypnosis cover, slightly ruined by the yellow, but nonetheless showing off that it's MoFi. This is the last remaster, I think 2016, done. From digital files. This is obviously the analog one from back in the day. Just incredible record. Right from Breathe in the Air, right there, first song, Going to Time. I mean, my New Year's thing for years was to time it so that the beginning of time was exactly at midnight. I spent many years actually doing that. Money, the first song basically I played on stage. First time I really heard Pink Floyd weirdly was the Deluxe on the Thunder version of Money. I sort of knew of the band and knew some of the pop stuff that was going on in the 80s at the time, but to go back and actually listen to this record as a record was relatively late for me, but it sort of opened up this incredible vantage point into this type of music. Roger Waters with his acerbic lyrics really spoke to me at the time. David Gilmour's beautiful, incredible guitar playing on this, which allowed me to open up obviously the stuff on which you're here. Animals is still probably my favorite of their records, although it's a tough call. I love Adam Hart Mother a lot. I love Metal a lot. I am not a fan of Syd Barrett Pink Floyd. It's fine. I appreciate it. I get what they're doing. It doesn't quote unquote speak to me in the way that these records do. And this this record is a gateway, and as I said, it's almost easy to like Sgt. Pepper, like Pet Sounds, like any of these, Blonde and Blonde, any of these records that are so considered iconic and part of the canon. Beethoven's Fifth. It's just easy to dismiss in a funny way. It's like, oh yeah, that thing. It's just sold against rumors, and yet. If you really sit down and listen to how it's constructed and listen to the sonic landscape that's actually put on, it's incredible. Speak to Me, Breathing the Air, On the Run, Time, Great Gig in the Sky. What a first track. But as I said, as we went on, obviously the Water stuff, the stuff Nick Mason and the Rototoms. But it's Rick Wright's contribution to this record, which is so beautiful. There's some incredible piano lines going on, just absolutely stunning. As I said, Money opening up side 2, right into Us and Them. A beautiful collaboration between Waters and Wright. Waters is, again, sardonic and yet in that case almost plaintive lyrics, and Wright's beautiful melodicism. Any Car You Like, Gilmour, Mason, Wright, Brain Damage, more Waters, and then Eclipse, the final, All That You Touch, All That You See, All You Taste, and All You Feel. Roger Waters claims the vast majority of this record, but I really think this is probably one of the last times, if not the best time, that they ever were as a band of actually putting all this stuff together. Messing around with VC3 synthesizers, came very close to owning a synthy. I really wish I still had one. But yeah, amazing record. So when I listen to it, I tend to listen to this guy. This guy's actually beautiful. This is a fantastic digital remaster from 2016, and it sounds great. It's just I spent so much money on this that sometimes it feels a little bit good. Or if I am going to listen to it, I will listen to the stuff out of either the original SACD, and I've done a thing on that before, or the Blu-ray that's part of the immersion set. And this came out, I don't know, 10 years ago, something like that. That included a Blu-ray. And the Blu-ray has something I love about it. Okay, this Blu-ray from this immersion set has the 2003 SACD 5.1 mix on it, so I don't have to pull out the SACD. And it has the original stereo mix from 73. And it has the 4.0 Alan Parsons quad mix. This is gold for me to actually hear the difference between the surround mixes from the original. And one of the things they did, I mean, the original box like this, you know, it's not so huge, but inside there was a bunch of Tchotkches, all of which are pretty useless. I have, look, it's not like I've opened up my coasters. These were famously came with marbles. I don't know what I was supposed to do with these, but they do what I guess they're supposed to. Sit inside the box. You can see the box actually has some foam, which is some, like, I guess I could put on and not have my neighbors bother so much. Glass marbles, made in China. This is not a toy. So remember, kids, marbles, not a toy. Questions for assorted lunatics. I mean, that sort of speaks it all about the type of people who were buying the box set before. People often ask about the voices in Dark Side. I was trying to gather snippets. So this is talking about the actual voices that we actually hear. Little things that sort of came in this set. More memorabilia in a little envelope. You can see tickets and the like. Dark Side of the Moon, a credits book. Tiny little credits book. I have a scarf, again, unopened. I have collectible cards. You know, cards. And inside this was a decent book with a bunch of photographs, not hardcover, but actually this was nice because this is when Hypnosis sort of went crazy and was doing a whole bunch of versions. This is actually the version on the SACD. And then more Pink Floyd tour photography from 74. And then some actual printed cards. Again, there's one of the Art Deco-y versions. You can see this is what we had on the back, the 6-disc collector set. And inside here, we have, this is the Pink Floyd disc 6 previously unreleased tracks from Dark Side, the early mix and stuff. And this is, again, on this weird cardboard sleeves. Inside here, we had a bunch of other discs. And so on this, on the immersion set, we had the CD, the original album remastered in 2011. Which again, that vinyl is a 2011 remaster from 2016, I believe. And then the Dark Side of the Moon live at Wembley, 1974, previously unreleased. So this is where that came from. The DVD audio only was the 5.1 surround, the quad stereo mix, quad mix, the DVD with audio-visual material, some Live and Brighton stuff, concert screen films and LPCM, and some other elements. The Blu-ray, as we said, the high-resolution version of the 9624 of the 2003 mix, surround mix, the 73 9624 rip, so basically a rip of the original 73 mix, the 73 9624 version of the quad mix, Careful with Zach's Eugene's, had the controls, Dark Side, concert screen films, again on the Blu-ray, and on disc 6, which I just showed you, extra audio tracks, which includes an original mix, the original Alan Parsons mix, so the pre final mix of the stereo, The Hard Way from Household Objects, Us and Them, the demo, Travel Sequence, Mortality Sequence, Any Color You Like, etc. So a bunch of really great stuff on here in a cute little box. And I thought, you know, what else do I need? Now, doesn't have any vinyl, and I'm the vinyl lunatic, of course. But this was a pretty robust set. Certainly one of the better of the ones they did. By the time they got to the wall, they actually eschewed the surround, which was super annoying. But nonetheless, as the immersion box set, this is what I thought would serve me for many years, and it sort of did. Until, of course, like a lunatic, a new one came out. So for the 50th anniversary, they announced this thing. It was a fortune. I can't believe I bought it, but I spent so much money on this record anyway. Why not worry about this guy? Okay, so it weighs a ton. Just to show again the size difference. So here's immersion compared to the shipping box. Completely and utterly preposterous. So let's crack this guy open and see what's in it. You can see its promises that it is fragile, which, you know, good to know. The 50th has had some sort of mixed responses, especially for people who are wondering why we're spending so much money on the stuff. There are vinyl people who are like, why do I need the digital? There are digital people who are, why do we need the vinyl? I get that as somebody who actually is kind of into both, as it were. I actually appreciate this, that I don't have to buy two sets like I have for some things like the Beatles. Honestly, for the vinyl stuff, it would be fantastic if it was just vinyl and then the surround stuff, because that's the stuff you can't get. That's all really I need. I don't necessarily need the 2-channel stuff on digital. That I'm totally fine listening to Spotify or even high-res downloads. I don't need it on a CD player. I have other mechanisms to do that. But the fact of the matter is that when you buy vinyl and you miss out on stuff like on this, additional surround mixes, that's where it gets annoying. So George Harrison's set being a really good example. Yes, a bunch of these surround mixes are showing up on streaming, but I'm finding that the quality is just not anywhere approaching what you actually get when you actually get a part of the set. So anyway, inside here, inside this outer shipping box is, unsurprisingly, another box. This is the Matryoshka doll of shipping stuff. This is good because I got this outer box in a giant box, and then inside that box is this box, and inside this box will be what we are here to show you. Okay. And inside here we have this guy. Keep this for later. Now, I don't know where the hell I'm going to put this. This is not going to fit in any normal record shelf. It won't even fit behind on top of my record shelves. I think I'm going to have problems with that. Nonetheless, here we go. Here's the Dark Side of the Moon set. On the back, it shows off all the stuff included. This is not messing around. Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, 50 years deluxe box includes CD-LP of remastered original albums. This is a 2023 remaster. CD-LP of The Dark Side of the Moon live at Wembley 74. It is an edited version of that thing that's on the CD. It is still not the complete Wembley show. Very frustrating. Blu-ray of the original album 5.1 and high-resolution remastered stereo mixes. Technically a new 5.1 mix, though there's debate about that. Blu-ray of Atmos and high-resolution remastered stereo mixes. So a brand new Atmos mix that I'll be able to play in Atmos in my setup. 160-page hardback book, music book of original album. I'm like the only one who is buying this thing that has wanted the sheet music for Dark Side of the Moon for a long time. I've actually been trying to get it, and just that alone is like $40 for me to get it. So I am the person who will be using that sheet music to plink away at my piano. Replicas of 2 7-inch singles and memorabilia. So let's crack this guy open and see what we've got inside, shall we? As I open this relatively carefully, I don't know that I'm going to be able to keep any of this cellophane on the outside, and I look forward to somebody who's going to create a custom bag for this. Hello, Vinyl Storage Solutions. And it would be nice to actually be able to keep this from too much drama and dust. Ta-da! So here's the nesting doll of the nesting dolls. I mean, why wouldn't this come in 3 boxes? Again, on the outside, absolutely perfect. It should be. It's just triple box, for God's sakes. And let's just put that there without too much drama and open this thing up. Okay. So the outer box, the lid, as kids call it. That's kind of hard to see, but with all the glare. But look, we got a triangle. Now, there are people who are like, oh my God, why would you mess with the iconic thing? Why wouldn't you just put the thing? I love this. This is gorgeous. Incredibly simple. Sort of gives away what's there. Yes, there's a hype sticker, which I'm the lunatic will give on the outside. But I actually really love the elegance of that. And you can see that's actually constructed on the inside. So this is a box with sort of an inner lip, which is where the hardcover book sort of sits. So it's the top of the box, and inside that, if I do this carefully, we have the hardcover book. Pink Floyd, The Dark Side of the Moon. Now, you should know that the Pink Floyd people hate each other. Not surprisingly. Well, that's not fair. One of them's dead. 2 of them like each other enough. The drummer sort of floats in between Nick Mason. But the fact of the matter is David Gilmour and Roger Waters do not get along, which means that every time that there's a liner note, every word has to be parsed by Pink Floyd itself, which means the easiest thing to do is to not have any words, which is basically what we have. So we have here a hardcover book of a bunch of pretty pictures. Now, not that there's anything wrong with that. I just would have liked an essay or 2. Pay a writer. Find somebody you both agree on and actually say something about this. You can see we got a bunch of sketches and other elements in ephemera. So it's a much nicer presentation when the hardcover book is actually quite beautiful. Let's put that aside. And as we then look, so that was the outer box. Remember, this sort of went on top here. And once that lifts up, and once the hardcover book lifts up, we then have the sort of another inner box here. And you can see the gold poking through. So if I lift this up, which again, you can see they've done a beautiful job of this, of just showing off the gold pyramid on the inside. Inside here, the box in a box in a box, we have this. So again, there's the back, very austere at the moment, but if I lift this out, I have this. Here's my sort of my digital, my 12-inch, this will fit in, so hypothetically I could have this out, but this is where you can see very clearly the Atmos DVD, Blu-ray, and the 2 CDs, the regular CD and the Live at Wembley CD. As has been shown elsewhere, I know for a fact that the Blu-ray, Atmos, and DVD actually do come in these cardboard sleeves, but are with poly lined, which is really nice, so that they are not, these are obviously much more sensitive to scratches and the like, and so that is great. I will probably put them in a better case anyway, but nonetheless, that's what's going on here. These sort of slide out, and you can see nice cardboard cases of what's going on, but the discs themselves are just there, sort of sliding in and out of the cardboard case, which is, you know, a nice presentation. And the way these work on here, you can see that these actually open up this way. So they're sort of tucked in this way as sort of gatefold cardboard. So there's the digital version of the music here. One layer down, we have this. Inside here, we have the 2 7-inches. So these 7 inches, any color you like, backed with money, or vice versa, actually. Our Original Harvest label looks nice. How the records look, I mean, decent enough. They'll be clean. They'll be put in better sleeves in a moment, but that's a nice thing to have. And then we have Us and Them and Time, again on the Original Harvest on 45. I don't know that I'll ever listen to these outside of the context of the record, but you know, nice enough to have. Nice little bonus, again, in a little card section like this. Okay. We then have this little flappy thing. Okay, and tucked into here, again, I'm the only person, I think, out there who cares about this. Look, sheet music. Now, these aren't incredibly difficult chords to sort of figure out by ear. A lot of major sevenths. But, you know, it's really, really nice for me to have this. I could probably keep this mint so this part of the box, but weirdly, this might actually get more use out of almost anything in the entire thing. It's a really nice presentation of the sheet music, and I'm super, super, super happy they included this. To recognize here the intricate melodicism, again, a ton of it's by Rick Wright, and he's so often overlooked about what actually takes place as part of Pink Floyd, overwhelmed by the too mercurial people or the sort of bombast of the drums. This sort of really gives me a real shot at diving into it a little bit way, seeing some of his voice leading in the likes of that. What else do we got here? We have, ooh, look at this. We have a program of Pink Floyd at the Planetarium. That's great. February 20, yeah, there's an original program of Floyd at the Planetarium. Ugh. So great to see Pink Floyd at the Planetarium. I understand everybody was wrecked doing it, but on behalf of those of us that were sober while doing it, it's just a fantastic place to listen to music in this, as things are bouncing around in the dome. It's awesome. So again, inside the nested box, we now have the gold one that was hinted at the outside. This whole thing comes out, but I lifted it out here. This is now the bottom of the main box, and this is how this is. And so this right here, our gold shiny thing, are the records. Now, does this fit on here? It does. So again, I could hypothetically just have this inside my record case. This is really nice printing. Big solid cardboard. Again, assembled so that it actually gives away. It's super lovely. I'm really, really pleased with the construction. It truly is gorgeous. I'm going to put fingerprints all over this, but that's what I can do. This is that sort of soft matte stuff. I guess the One Steps use it. Again, a really nice, beautiful printing. Not glossy per se, but a sort of a soft matte version of that. And again, the original artwork, no name of the band whatsoever, just the prism. And on the inside, the heartbeat from extracted from the prism that opens up the film. Remaster of the film. So what do we got here? PFSR 50 LP1 and the record itself, which will be cleaned on my degrader. Replicate of the blue triangle logo. I see Bernie Grunman. Side 2, flat. I see no issues whatsoever. It's a clean looking vinyl. I mean, as flat as I can make out. Not like some of the other stuff that I've been getting recently. Those that watched the What Stacks video just saw all kinds of like mess on the record. This absolutely looks fine. Very pleased, and I'll be excited to hear this and hear whether or not I hear any difference between this master or not. Obviously, I'm expecting the surround sound mixes to be quite different. And then we have the vinyl version of the Live in Wembley. I see no seam splits, no corner. Again, soft layout as well. It's beautiful. Now, this is available on its own. Wembley, it would have been nice, again, to have the whole goddamn concert. Maybe they will do that and take more of my money. Inside the opening part of the gatefold posters. I didn't do that with the Dark Side. I think everybody knows all the Tchotkches that come with the normal Dark Side. This will be a different poster. Oh, let's try to do this without too much drama. Look, I'm guessing this has something to do with time. Likely projection from the original show. We have another one in here. Yeah, there we go. So an actual concert poster from the era. I never hang up these posters, never do it, but there's Gerald Scarfe. Excellent portrait of the band. There's Pink Floyd, done by the man. Absolutely wild. Both included in this. And I guess while we're here, just to be completist, we'll look at the other side of the gatefold. These Tchotkches, which are in the main record. We have posters and the postcards, right? These are on sort of flimsy paper. The stickers, little less robust than I've seen in some reprints of that. This is this famous image that at one point in time it shows up elsewhere of the actual pyramids in Giza. And then we have this, which is, again, came with the originals, replicated in a number of versions I have. So, just nice to have. So there we go. I look forward to listening to this. I look forward to experience it. This is limited edition. Who knows how many they'll actually make. Who knows how long they'll actually be around. Who knows whether or not there's enough people to actually justify having such a crazy set. I was really torn about getting this myself. And then I just realized, Starks out of the moon, who am I kidding? Honestly, I love the fact that they included this. It's dumb, but I love that they included this. The sheet music, great new remaster, and the packaging really is beautiful. As annoyed as I am that it doesn't replace what I have before, as somebody who has what came out before, it's not the end of the world. The fact of the matter is that the immersion set actually had more robust stuff. It's pretty inexcusable that they left out the Parsons mix on this, the original quad. You got all this space. The fact that they have an Atmos and a Blu-ray is completely redundant. They could have thrown so much more on there. There's obviously so much more space for stuff. At the very least in digital, they could have put the complete Wembley show. It's a real missed opportunity, and by missed opportunity I mean that they'll just get us next time. We know what's happening here. But nonetheless, for the stuff that was done, if you're going to do this box set, and this is really a box set for people that have all the other boxes, as crazy as that is, you want something that's really nice and really beautiful and feels substantial and feels artistic. And this is certainly a box worthy of a record of this kind of reputation. So there we are. There's a look at the 50th anniversary of Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, the opening of the box set. Now I got to find a way to put the whole thing together. Good thing it comes with instructions. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe. Let us know in the comments what you think of this preposterous thing, and let me know what you think. What's your favorite part of Dark Side of the Moon? What are you most looking forward to actually experiencing with this new remix? I look forward to hearing from you. We will see you next video. All the best. Take care.